Hello everyone and welcome back to Lucky Loaders 15, where I'll be giving you 3 of my best bets for tomorrow's horse racing action. Before we get stuck into those, I just want to apologise for not giving you any winners or any profits today. It's been a really disappointing day. Our opening selection at Seville, our next best, unfortunately became a loose horse after the first hurdle because he unseated, or I should say she unseated, because she was a filly, well she is a filly, she unseated Nico de Boinville very early on, so that was very disappointing there. I thought it was a winnable race as well, and it was interesting when I put it up, it was around about 3-1 I think yesterday, and then throughout the day, it was a bit weak in the market. It did drift out at one point. I think you could have got it available at 9-2, 5-1, and then the market support came back in for it again. It had a really strong bumper form, and it's worked out really well with Miss Farage and also as well Keyboard Joan winning since. But yeah, it was really disappointing because I was expecting a good run from her and we never really got to see what she was made of over hurdles. But she's definitely one to keep an eye on next time, but it might be a bit hard to maybe get really stuck into her, especially if she's a short price, considering we haven't even seen her jump a clear round yet, so we don't know as of yet how she'll take to the hurdles. But yeah, that was very disappointing there. And then with our second selection, we put up Northern Bound. Nothing to complain about there. I just think it lacked a little bit of toe, to be honest with you. I think Nico did the right thing. The horse is a horse that likes to get on with things, race prominently, and he was making all. And then in the end, when he needed probably just that extra bit of gear, he lacked it with the speed. And in the end, he finished in a bunched finish for the places. I think he finished probably in about 6th place or something like that. But at one point, jumping the last, he had a chance to at least make the frame. But like I said, he just didn't have that pace to get involved. So that was just slightly disappointing there. Then our Longshot Kodiak Harbour. Again, there was a bit of support for this one for Tom Marquand and Robin Brisland. But in the end, his effort just petered out. He was driven along early, but then he really did respond to the urgings. And at one point, he was coming down the outside, and I just thought that he would maybe get involved for the places at least, because he did look like he was coming with a strong run, and it looked like maybe he could have even won. But yeah, he just petered out and weakened in the last furlong, and it was really disappointing. And that effort that he put in to probably try and make his move, that just cost him in the fact that he burnt too much energy. But I don't think if Tom Marquand had asked him at that time, he would have even looked like getting involved. So it was kind of one of those where the jockey was damned if he did, damned if he didn't, you know. But still, yeah, that's how that one went. And then our nap, unfortunately, I think the ground paid to his chances. Unfortunately, what I couldn't tell you was that they were going to have showers at Chester. A lot of these thunderstorms at the moment are popping up all over the country with the hot weather we're having, and they had quite a bit of rain at Chester. They had some heavy downpours and it just got into the ground. He finished in 4th place, I think, in the end, Sky Defender in the nap at Chester. But yeah, it was just really disappointing that came. And I think also as well, he didn't quite get the run of the race. He was with data protection from the off. He probably wanted a solo up in front, and it just didn't work out for him. But yeah, it's the way it goes sometimes. You have your good days and your bad days, but obviously you want to try and limit those bad days to as small a number as you can, but it's not always easy in this game. But however, we've been doing well in August. We had a good day on Saturday. We had some nice winners last week too, and hopefully it was just a blip today and we can get on to bigger and better things tomorrow. We've only got 3 selections tomorrow. I thought it was quite hard, to be honest with you. Quite a lot of horses that are totally unexposed, a lot of competitive racing, but I've narrowed it down to 3. Fingers crossed we can have a good day. So we're actually going to be going to start with my nap tomorrow, which runs in the 3:40 at Wolverhampton, and I'm going here with a horse called Colonize for David Egan and John Gosden. I really rate David Egan. I think he's going to be a terrific jockey, and he's already doing really well. He's already ridden a couple of group winners, and it's great that he's getting chances with trainers like John Gosden. He's ridden quite a few this season in these colours. I think they're Sheikh Fahad's personal colours, but he's done really well in these colours this season. I think Mishrifi won, if I remember rightly, at Newmarket towards the beginning of our flat season on the turf, even though it wasn't that long ago. ago, but it certainly feels a long time ago. But anyway, Colonize, it's been going okay and seems really best on an all-weather surface. Won at Chelmsford, ran some good races and made the frame. But last time we saw this horse, he finished third at Windsor, where arguably he was maybe a little bit unlucky not to win the race, or at least get a little bit closer. It was quite a messy race for him. He kind of was trying to find a gap and he didn't really kind of get it. And then when he did get out, he again was maybe in a little bit of traffic problems. He didn't have the best of runs that day. But to be fair, I think he ran still a credible race. And the form has actually worked out slightly, because the 4th place horse, Junkanoo, was a big winner at Glorious Goodwood the other week for Gary Moore. So I don't think it was a bad race. And I think off 79, that's still workable, and he's going to be well treated in there tomorrow. He gets the 3-year-old allowance. I think going back to the all-weather surface will really suit him. And it could be quite testing at Wolverhampton tomorrow. When we get the hot weather, a lot of people don't realise, especially at this time of year, is that when we're racing on the all-weather, it can make the surface ride really slow, and it can take a lot of getting. You might remember Newcastle on the first day of racing, when it was resumed after the lockdown. That was really testing for a lot of the horses, and you're going to see it as well at tracks like Kempton and Lingfield over the next couple of days. It could be tough work for some of these horses, but Colonize, he's already handled a slow surface on the all-weather, so that wouldn't bother me too much. And he's currently available at 5-1, which I think was a big price for him. I know that there's a couple of other horses that might have chances, but maybe they, in my opinion, they might just get stuck on not going on an all-weather surface before, because a lot of them have only raced on turf, whereas Colonize, I think he's more of an all-weather specialist, and we've seen him on some of his better efforts in his career on the all-weather. So, for me, I think there's a lot in his favour tomorrow. David Egan's been riding well. John Gosden, obviously, they're pretty much always in form. I think there's a lot to like about this horse's chances tomorrow, and I'd be disappointed if he couldn't go close. We then go up to Scotland for the jumps card there at Perth in the 5:05 with a horse called Somethinboutangela for Dr. Richard Newland and Sam Twiston-Davis. Now, Dr. Richard Newland, we normally associate him with having a lot of winners in the summer jumps, but he's just taken a little while to get going. He's had quite a few horses run below par, or by anyway at least run below market expectations. The bookmakers, they know Dr. Richard Newland's very shrewd at this time of year, gets lots of winners, and they always make his horses short prices. But there's just been the sign of things in the last few days. They had a winner at Savile today. They had a winner as well at Uttoxeter on the last jumps card there at the weekend. So they're just maybe starting to find their feet now. And at 9-4 tomorrow, I think this Somethinboutangela's got a good chance here. She's going to be making her chase debut off a mark of 110, and I think that's really workable here. Also, as well, if you go back for her form, she's had a recent comeback where she ran respectably, finishing 3rd at Market Raisin, and that was actually quite a decent race, I thought, for the grade. And the form, it's not worked out particularly well, but I think a lot of the form lines of this season, there are going to be quite up and down. But Somethinboutangela, I think there's a lot to like about her. She's still 7 years old. She's still improving. I think the yard are going into a good place now. And Richard Newland does well here as well with his runners at Perth. He's got a good record, and I just think this horse has got a good chance tomorrow of opening an account over fences. She'll get the mare's allowance as well, which will help her in the handicap, and I think she can be really competitive off a mark of 110, and I think she's the one really. If she jumps soundly, they've all got to beat, in my opinion. She'll be the class act. So for me at 9-4, that's going to be my next best. Probably not the most original selection, but I think she has solid chances, and I wouldn't be at all surprised actually if she went off quite a bit shorter than the price she is now. So at 9-4, I think that's a good price there, and for me, I think she'll come at a shorter price when we get to post time. So that's going to be selection there. We then go the Longshot, which runs in the 5:40 at Perth with a horse called No Hiding Place for Jimmy Moffat and Charlotte Jones. I always love backing these two when they team up together. They actually are a combo that get they normally are underestimated by the bookmakers. They've done me a few good times over the years at some big prices. And this horse that they got tomorrow, No Hiding Place, he used to be with Nicky Henderson, but then he transferred to Jimmy Moffat, and Jimmy Moffat does all right with his small string. And this horse actually finished 3rd at Kelso in a better race than this on stable debut back in January, so a long time ago now. But this horse actually got demoted because Charlotte Jones, she was a bit of a naughty girl that day. She forgot to weigh in But I'll forgive her that effort, you know. And with the £7 claim tomorrow, she's really going to make a difference to this horse, because he is going to have to carry top weight otherwise. He's off a mark of 126, which might be a little bit high for him, but I don't think this is a particularly strong field. And as long as the ground doesn't get too testing tomorrow, it's currently good soft, as long as the rain stays away. I think No Hiding Place at 12 to 1's got a good chance in this field. He's running a lot better races than this during his career, and if he replicates that third at Kelso, I think he's a lively player, and at 12 to 1 I think that's a big price. And tomorrow, so I'll just quickly go through my 3 best bets for tomorrow. In the 340 at Wolverhampton, we go with a horse called Colonize. 5 to 1, that's going to be the nap. In the 505 at Perth, we go with a horse called Somethinboutangela, which is 9-4, that's the next best. And in the 540, we go to Perth, stay in there with the Longshot, 12 to 1 each way. That's No Hiding Place for Charlotte Jones and Jimmy Moffat. So if you haven't done so already, please make sure you hit the subscribe button for more videos on my YouTube channel. Also as well, if you want to check out the latest blog, you can do, where I wrote about my eye catchers for the weekend. The link to that piece will be in the description box below. And also as well, if you want to follow me on social media, the best place to do so is at LuckyLoader15. That's my handle, and that's the place where I'm most active on social media. So if you don't follow me over there, make sure you go and do so. Anyway, enough of me talking there. Hopefully we can have some winners tomorrow. Please gamble responsibly, and we'll be seeing you soon.